Hit me.
They say mo money, mo problems. Bring on the problems. Bring on the problems. Bring on the motherfucking problems. Hey. All right.
They say mo money, mo
We
problems.
Bring on the problems. Bring on the motherfucking. All right.
Look.
That's a Drake song.
We're
Okay.
here in the podcast.
We're here in the podcast. Who are you?
My name's Armand.
Armand what?
Yagmai.
And what's your social security number?
310.
Is it really?
No,
No, that's your number.
That's like, yeah.
That's your phone number.
That's my phone number.
How do I know you? I know you from you had a radio show at USC.
I did have a radio show.
You did a radio show at
That's
USC.
true.
You seem awfully closed off for a person who's so used to live radio.
How am I closed off?
Your arms are literally crossed.
Because it's a little bit chilly Billy in here.
It's a little chilly for sure.
Eric. Wait, is this being video?
This is being videoed right now.
Oh. Don't include that.
I'm gonna put that in for sure. So what about Drake's penis? No, that's what we talked about last week. Oh, okay.
It's a great day.
It's a really great day. So I don't really know how to attack this thing. You know what I mean?
Podcasts are tough, man. We really need topics.
It's really we have topics, but they're just. It's like literally. Let me read what's on the list: vultures, show business (brackets agency), Drake's cock, and my work. Those are the hard-hitting topics that we're going to talk about today.
Here's the thing.
Should we start with vultures?
I think we got to get vultures out of the way.
For context, Kanye West, who, if you haven't heard of him, oh my God, you're going to love this guy. He just dropped an album. Yeah. He said a bunch of, yeah.
Yeah, so Kanye went through, a period of cancellation.
Yes.
But I feel like people have sort of forgiven him. A little.
I don't think anyone's forgiven him since 2016. I mean, people have forgiven him a little bit, but dude, okay. Let's just establish the positions. I think vultures sucked.
Wow.
I think it sucked musically.
Wow.
And I'm down to go with Kanye if he says something shitty but makes something good.
Here's the thing.
I don't agree with him saying slavery is a choice on TMZ. But dude, KSG slapped. Kitsy Ghost was an amazing album.
Here's the thing about vultures. I actually think it was great.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
It was a bit of a return to form musically for him.
How?
I'll tell you how.
What form?
Yeezus. You remember the album Yeezus?
Yes, I remember the album.
He's sort of back in that era of villainy, and it's this hard-hitting, electronic heavy
dude
album.
Kanye. No. All right, here's why you're so wrong. Kanye is always the villain. Even in the College Dropout, Kanye was the villain within the context of hip hop at the time. Because hip hop was 50 Cent, Jay-Z. Kanye was I wear a backpack, I have grills, I rap about my mom. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's awesome. He's always the villain. That's his person, So that's always going to be there.
He's a disruptor.
Here's the thing. I don't think anything he's saying on the album is disrupting in any sort of way that pushes anything forward. You know what I mean? He's just I like sex and people don't like me. And also, musically speaking, Yeezus would push things forward way more. You know what I mean? How on site, how that on site sounds alien. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the gospel sample and then right back to that. Dude, it's so
good.
Legendary.
It's so good.
How is anything on Vultures anywhere close to that?
When you put it like that, you're kind of right.
That's it?
It's hard for me to argue that because I was actually telling this exact point to my roommate the other day. I was like, Vultures is great. I really enjoy it as an album. I like listening to it. I like the poppy tracks, the one that's her body like the wild, wild.
Yeah,
it's
a nice pop track.
But when you put on Yeezus and you listen to On Site, it's oh my God,
anything
this
before
is crazy.
Jesus is King. If you put it on, it's like that. Oh my God, where'd he get this from? Everything Jesus is King and after is Jesus is King is okay. Gets a little too much hate, but it is watered down. It is worse.
I think Vultures was low key better than Donda.
I'm not even gonna
Please don't ask again.
I would disagree, but I don't really like either of them as albums. You know what I mean?
They're definitely in my bottom area with Jesus is King.
It's I don't think he's ever gonna come back, musically speaking. I don't think he ever will. It's just not it always happens. And
the crazy thing is, Everybody never even dropped. That was the one that got
that
the whole
was
thing hyped up.
Can we just sing Everybody for a little bit here?
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's literally
Rock
just like the Backstreet Boys song sung by Kanye and Ty Dolla
Sign.
Sign.
But it does have one line, which is "Better cause a scene, murder scene." Oh, has it start again? Okay, you the king.
Burger King.
Like, come on, man. I'm so sad that didn't become like a known, like he didn't publish that, because I just want to be able to quote that to people. But now no one will ever understand it.
Yeah, it's very upsetting.
That's the most upsetting thing Kanye has ever done.
But I do think it's a good album, and I think it's like fun to listen to. I've been listening to it a lot.
I haven't.
I don't think it's like, and honestly, Ty Dolla Sign's vocals like so help it. It turns it into from something manic and like a little bit strange into like something that's a little bit more grounded with Ty Dolla Sign's vocals, because like he's not like, Ty Dolla Sign is never an artist who's been breaking any ground. In
care
all
a lot
honesty,
about
he's
music.
the only artist who like probably would work with Kanye on an album at this point.
Right. Yeah.
Like in good conscience.
Yeah.
Because he's just like,
wasn't Cardi on the album?
Cardi was, but like to do a
Uncredited.
full collab album with him. I think Ty Dolla Sign's perfect because like he's so moldable. Like Kanye can like take those beautiful vocals and like pretty much do whatever he wants with it, because Ty Dolla Sign will be like, okay.
What do you think about the point that Kanye will never come back? Like he'll never make another classic. It always happens.
It will never be on the level of some of the older stuff. It will never
of
be.
anything
Never.
before Jesus is King.
Never.
Never.
I think it's like that with most artists.
Michael Jackson.
Like so many artists do not have
Yes.
like they can't just return to form
No.
like they did in their youth.
No,
Like
no.
Kanye's a different person now. You
Yeah.
know, he's got kids. He went through a nasty divorce. He got canceled. Like
Yeah.
this music is reflective of that period in his life.
It's true. That is true. That's a good
And
point.
honestly, for that,
For
it's
that, it's
pretty damn
okay.
good.
It's okay for that. Yeah.
better than Donda too.
But
Anyone
it's-
remember that?
Donna 2, I don't even want to talk about. It's like, I mean, Donna, that's the most ridiculous. Is that even counted as a Kanye album?
No,
Like, no, right?
no,
It's insane. It's insane.
not at all.
All right. So Drake's penis.
Man, oh man, I remember when I saw that thing.
Uh-huh. What were you doing? What were you thinking?
I was at work,
Uh-huh.
and
How'd you hear the news?
my friend comes up to me. He's like, "Dude, you're not gonna believe what just happened." And I'm like, "You got fired?" And he's like, "No, Drake's penis leaked on the internet." I was like, "Holy shit, that's crazy." I mean, like, and then like obviously we looked at the photo and we were like, "Okay, that's
Yeah.
more or less what I expected." You know?
Yeah, there was nothing shocking or groundbreaking about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was pretty business as usual.
But it's the thing about it that's shocking / groundbreaking is not the penis itself. It's the concept of like Drake had been like building up to this precipice of being a meme, you know?
Right.
And then like right at the climax, wham! Like it's like penis picture comes out and it's
Right.
like it's just like it's like
Yeah.
it's like Ethereum recently like took off. It's like
Right,
that.
right.
It's like the Drake stock is on the
The
rise.
Drake stock's pretty crazy. What do you think about Drake in general? As I have, dude. Here's my thing about Drake. I think he's kind of. I like Drake.
I do too.
I like Drake a lot.
You should like Drake because you're Canadian.
But not just that. He gets so much hate for like no reason. You know what I mean?
I don't think he gets hate. He gets like memed on.
He gets me, but it's like I don't know. I kind of want to defend Drake really hard. You know what I mean? Like just like why are you memeing on Drake? He didn't do nothing to deserve it, man.
But
he's just a little fruity sometimes.
here's
That's
the thing.
fine.
His albums, let's talk about the music for a second,
Okay, yeah.
are so recently like just like fragmented and not well put together.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Ever since like probably around the same time as Kanye sort
Like
of fell
post
off.
Scorpion, it was like
Even Scorpion was bloated. Views was
Scorpion
bloated.
was bloated. There's
Views
like
is bloated.
we're saying like Donda's bloated, but you look
Yeah.
at one of these Drake albums,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like 50 songs, and it's like
yeah,
what the hell?
but the bangers bang harder. You know what I mean? You expect it from Drake. It's just like that's him. He's just making pop stuff.
He's like what he does is like he'll like release a bunch of stuff, and like 3 of them will like hit.
right.
3 of them
Right,
will
right,
hit
right.
crazy, and then the rest of them will
Right.
be like semi-enjoyable.
Yes. It was like this is fine.
But they're still under it, like Mob Ties off of Scorpion.
Mob
like
Ties is
no
alright.
one really like
Emotionless. You know that song?
no.
That's a really good song.
I like Scorpion.
Scorpion's pretty good. Views is pretty good. My point is that it's just like he gets so much hate, dude, and he doesn't deserve
But
it.
a lot of times, the most popular song off of one of his albums, I don't agree with.
Dude, how is Drake getting this much hate for
Rich Baby Daddy is a bad
for a
song.
cock that big? Why does he get so much hate? That's my question. You
Well,
know
I
what
feel
mean?
like now he could turn things around.
His
With this
dick
new-
is so much bigger. Like, that's what's so interesting to me about Drake is that it's like he really isn't this big pussy that everyone makes him out to be. You know what I mean? But that's kind of what makes it funny is that he's going to go like, no. People expect that out of him. People expect him to go, no, I'm not. But, he drops his dick pic.
You know what? Maybe that is the way of him combating the no, I'm not. He wants to. In his head, he's like, I want to be like, no, I'm not, and be whiny.
Right.
I have all these people making fun of me.
Right.
But then he's like, maybe his publicist is like, look, Drake, let's think about a way you can like combat these allegations of being like a little bit like, like
what can you do?
Gooberish.
Just
and they're like,
wave it around
look, you have a natural blessing. It's your large member.
Right.
Why don't we put it on the internet so people will be like, whoa, he might be a little bit of a goober, but he's got a big penis. So
he has a big cock.
we can like, let's back off. Now people are like, let's back off.
Mm-hmm.
But people, people are still having fun with it. Was it a video or a picture?
It was a video, but the picture circulated more, and then they took it down. All right, dude, we got to get warmed up here.
I think he leaked it.
I think it's entirely possible that he leaked it, but I don't know, man. We got to get warmed up here. We're not warmed up right now.
Okay,
you feel me?
I feel warm, but
you feel warm?
Yeah.
I think we could be a little warmer. Do you need this blanket right here?
No, I don't want that, and it's gonna cause the microphone to be weird.
All right, well, I'm gonna put this blanket on.
Okay.
Let's talk about what do you do for a like. No one listening even knows who you are. You know what I mean? Like, what's your deal?
All right, I can tell you.
All right, tell me your deal.
Look, I'm from Santa Monica, California.
Okay.
It's a great little town.
Yeah, you might have heard of it.
Love it here,
Uh-huh.
And I am honestly at a really good place in my life right now.
Why?
I'm happy. I really am happy because honestly, here's the thing. I love going into work.
Where do you
It's
work?
actually fun.
What? Where do you work?
I work at a talent agency.
What is that? What's that like?
It's like sort of corporate, but like a little bit more like fun. It's like honestly 30% corporate, but it's like 70% like you go in. There's a bunch of people your age. They just got out of college, working their first jobs, and you're working on like movies. You're like you're helping an agent like basically like schedule their calls and stuff, and they're talking about like getting movies made and putting writers on projects, and it's like super fun. And honestly, yeah, if you think of like, if you compare like, going into work at an agency and like being unemployed and having like unlimited money and like yachts and like private planes, like obviously that's going to be better. But when you think of it like, I'm working at this agency and there are other people like welding oil tankers underwater, like I'd rather be doing.
Right. You kind of just sit at a desk and read stuff, and then
Yeah.
That's
what you do.
It's pretty cool.
And it's fun. You get to chat with people.
What's the most famous thing you've worked on?
I barely started.
Right.
That's why I'm saying like maybe my opinion isn't super valid yet. Maybe I need.
What do you want to do? What are your dreams?
Wow, my dream.
What's your most insane dream that you don't tell anybody? Like actually not even. What's your biggest delusion? Like what's your like? If you could be anyone, like if you could like be Drake or like be someone like that, what would you want to do?
My biggest delusion, and this is an oddly specific one. There's a corner lot that's currently being developed on Corona del Mar.
Okay.
Which is a street in the Pacific Palisades.
Okay.
Right? There's a corner lot, and ever since I was little, I used to go to tennis camp up there. I would drive past this corner lot, and for some reason, it's been cemented in my head that one day I will own the house on that corner lot.
Why do you want?
It's like this massive lot overlooking the ocean.
Damn.
It's awesome.
How much?
That
is
my delusion.
10 million?
Probably like way more than 10 million.
Wow.
I don't even think like it. That's my delusion.
Right.
I need to.
What
achieve
would you
want
to do to achieve that? If you could do anything.
Like be an awesome like agent or producer.
Really? That's
just,
all you want to do?
Making deals. It's so
you
much
want to make
fun.
deals?
It's so much fun.
Really?
It's just like fast-paced environment.
But you're someone like it's like if you had a slightly different, like you could be like a comedian or like a writer as well. That's on the table for you.
It is on the table.
Would you want to do that or no?
I want to be like a multi-hyphenate, you know?
Right, of course. But like, what's the other hyphen other than like executive who makes deals?
I don't know. I feel like once you're
if you could be two people, okay, one of your spirit animals is Trump. Who's the other one?
No, one of my spirit animals is not Trump. Camera. Look, My two spirit animals are probably like okay. Here's something that I say often. This is like one of my isms. I have a lot of isms.
Right.
And the biggest thing that I would say
A whole
is
lot of isms.
the two coolest things in life, and this is like pretty something that's like inarguable.
Right.
The two coolest things in life, theoretically, would to be a rapper.
Be a rapper. Yeah.
And have a transformer. Those are the two coolest things.
Wait. The rapper thing, it's like, I guess, you know.
Like if I had either one of those things, I would like.
What would you rather? Would you rather be a rapper, have a transformer? Or would you rather be a transformer?
I don't want to be a
kill.
transformer.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a transformer because like they came from like
a different planet.
They came from
destroyed or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to have that baggage, but I just want to like have the thing, which is like the transformer.
Yeah. But like having what's the messaging on that? You own a transformer. You know what I mean? It's a little sus. They're not like they're an intelligent species.
I know, but like I don't want to say I own a transformer.
Did they unpack the fact that it's like they come from another planet where there's just like a bunch of cars? Like, what's the deal with it?
It doesn't need unpacking, dude. You sit down, you watch Transformers, cars turn into robots, violence, Megan Fox.
But why?
I don't need anything else.
Like, oh, is it that they come from another planet and they come here and they see the machines here and turn into them?
Oh, they're like, we think cars are cool. They're like,
are they cars on their planet? I forgot.
How? I don't know. That wouldn't make any sense if they're cars on their planet because like then.
That's what I'm saying.
What do they also have Ford on like?
This is where I
forgot their planet.
This is where I wish we had like Jamie and Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like we had like the guy like, can you look that up really quick? Are they cars on their planet?
No, I think they're like other beings on their planet.
Right.
And then they come here and they take the shape of cars.
Right.
That turn into robots.
I'm really glad that So you would want to.
Would you rather be a transformer or? I meant, would you rather have a transformer or like? Not own because that would obviously be like there would be like we would. I feel like we would have to get like human like we would get rights for the transformers.
Oh, for sure.
I would lead that charge.
Yeah,
I would lead that charge. I would go to the courts like Ted too. I would go to the courts and I would be like, bang bang on the gavel. Let's give these transformers rights. They should be able to get married.
Okay.
But would we want transformers to marry humans?
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I would want that. I would let to say brothers love. You can marry who you want.
I think you got a little distracted here. You were saying,
would you rather be a rapper? Like, would you rather be like Childish Gambino, or
I would rather be a rapper.
Then like be homies with a transformer who's like gonna drive you
Yeah,
around
but it's like after a while, like you're gonna get to know the transformer, and he's just gonna be like a dude.
He's gonna be like dogging on you all the time. Like
he's just gonna be
Eric,
like,
what's that fucking jacket, bro?
Like the first week or two, it's like, dude, you could turn into a Lambo, and then after 2 weeks, he's just gonna be like, bro, I'm like mad depressed. Like he's just gonna be a regular guy.
Because he's gonna have to sit in the parking lot all day while you're at work.
Well, you didn't have to sit in the parking lot. He's just like everybody has regular issues. You know what I mean? I'd rather just be the cool guy than know the cool guy. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because like the essence of what you're saying is, would you rather know Drake or be Drake? It's kind of the same essence.
It's not would you rather know Drake or be Drake. It's like would you rather be Drake or like have like a war machine that can also like turn into a Dodge Challenger? But
we've established you don't just have him because that would be wrong.
Yeah, that would be wrong.
That would be wrong.
You're friends with him. But then you open up the possibility of you guys get into a fight and he no longer wants to be your transformer. He wants to go be someone else's transformer.
You gotta think he's not your level or a little below. He's a hyper intelligent being, or she.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a hyper intelligent being. So it's like you can't just it's not I don't know, it's not like you have them at all. Like they kind of have you a little bit, you know?
Yeah, they choose you cuz he chose Sam. Bumblebee chose Sam with Mickey.
Right. Are you Shia LaBeouf in this fantasy, or is it like
Yeah. I feel like that's like what we're
That's a given, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. But which rapper are you? Or are you just yourself as a rapper? What do you think of me being a rapper?
Okay, here's an idea. If
do you think
we
I'd make
were
a good rapper?
Rappers, like who would be our comps?
That's a really good. I do genuinely feel like my comp might be closer to Kanye. What do you think about that statement?
I'm gonna go with like, I think
let's say each other's.
Our honest comp.
Yeah.
We have like who we want our comp to be, and then there's like the honest comp. I feel like our honest comp is probably the same.
Right. What?
Person.
Who? Kanye?
No.
Childish Gambino? White guy?
I want my comp to be Childish Gambino. That's who I would want to be.
Right.
Because he's like funny.
Macklemore? Who are you?
I would say like Lil Dicky. Dave Berg.
But I would never. Here's the thing, dude. If I was gonna rap, I'd do it serious. Like I would never do what Lil Dicky does. No disrespect. You know what I mean? He's not a real rapper.
He just came out with a new album. It's called Penis.
Yeah, he's not a real rapper. You know what I mean? He's like he can rap, but
this is what he wants you to say. This is what drums up the marketing about him.
Yes,
that was his whole concept. You're not a real rapper.
But the fact that he chose to frame it that way, I don't know. I just don't really fuck with it. I'm not dissing him at all.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
Fuck with it. You know what
he
I mean?
wanted what Childish Gambino had, and he achieved 90% of it without the seriousness of his music.
He got a watered down version of it.
Exactly. Childish Gambino, he got the TV show. Yeah. Lil Dicky also got the TV show.
Is there any way to be a white guy and have that's where I want to sneak in there. Is there any way to be a white guy and have what Childish Gambino has, fully? No, right?
I don't know. Well, you think about Flight of the Conchords.
The guys from New Zealand?
Yeah. Well, they're
Maori. They're not even white. One of them's not even white.
I think honestly, I don't know.
I think
Mac Miller could have.
Lil Dicky's more of a comedian than a rapper. You know what I mean? Even as a rapper, he's a comedian.
Exactly.
You know?
His rap album is accompaniment to his show.
I would never do that. As a rapper. I don't think I would be Lil Dicky. Genuinely. Do you think I'd be Lil Dicky? Really?
I don't know if you would.
I don't think I'd be Lil Dicky. I think I would be closer to Childish Gambino, probably.
You could be a Mac Miller.
Yeah. I'm a little too, put together, I guess. I don't have as real problems. I don't know. What? No, be honest. Say what you're going to say.
Whenever someone's like, I'm a little too put together.
Right.
I feel like that's one of those things that you just don't want to say. It's
right.
It's I'm a bit too humble for this crowd, you know? I'm a bit too put together.
Right. Well, I think you would be you'd be one of the shitty Wu-Tang members, like Capadonna.
Fuck you, man. Let's talk about character flaws. Okay. What do you think your biggest character flaw is?
My biggest character flaw?
And then I want you to tell me what mine is.
What? Okay, I'll be very honest. I mean, first of all, I kind of have anger issues. That's one thing. I get very mad at people.
I know.
I don't talk about my feelings at all. I bottle a lot of stuff up. I really don't. I don't talk at all about how I really feel. I bottle a lot of stuff up. I kind of feel like I'm always lying to people to a degree. But I think the biggest thing is a lot of other things. I feel like I'm very entitled and I talk down to people a lot, and I think I'm smarter than people. It's a long list.
Wow. Well, you're pretty smart, but I wouldn't say you're not one of those people who can be
It's okay. They can't hear it.
Walk into a room and be oh, I'm smarter than everyone here. You know, but I feel like you're pretty smart.
Right.
You're a smart guy.
Right.
And I didn't believe that until I watched your YouTube video.
Really?
I did, but I watched your YouTube video. I was like, this is so insightful.
Really? Wow.
I was like, this is you're very emotionally smart. I'm sure you're normally smart too, but I don't know. But you're very emotionally smart. I can feel you're good at picking up on people's feelings and what's happening in a situation, even though you don't always show it.
Yeah. I think that's why I'm kind of trying to not pivot out of doing comedy because I'm a funny person, but really not pigeonhole myself into that.
My favorite movies are ones that are funny with a serious edge. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Like what?
Let's cut this part out because I want to seem like someone who knows about it. But I would have to pull up my letterbox. But
okay, yeah.
Look, the point is,
what's your biggest character flaw?
You're the goat. I don't know. You tell me. You diagnose me.
You must have some idea. Do you have suspicions? I want to hear your suspicions first.
My suspicions are that
right.
I am a little bit I can be a little bit one big thing I know is I overthink a lot. I'm a big time overthinker. I'm a BTO.
Right.
Another thing is sometimes I can be a little vain. Other times I struggle with active listening.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Those are the three big ones.
Three big ones.
What do you think? Diagnose me. Can you pretend you're my therapist?
I can pretend I'm your therapist. I think definitely you're a little vain, but everyone's a little vain.
Yeah.
That's every single person in the entire world.
No matter what people say. Yeah.
Definitely you could work on listening a lot. That's related to the vanity thing. I think sometimes, and I struggle with the same thing, you can be very mean sometimes. You know what I mean? A little aggressive, a little dismissive. It's true. I'm being. You're looking at me like, why are you saying this to me right now?
Okay. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. How much time has lapsed?
Let me see. 26.
Let's run this for like 40. I think we're gonna cut the first 10, something like that. I think you'd be a little aggressive, a little vain. You're very focused on you have listening issues. You tend to be very focused on your image of yourself and like your you're very materialistic, honestly, in a lot of ways.
Wow.
What? You care about cars way more than the average person.
I love cars.
I think that says a lot about a person. Now, but you don't. Do you know how to change a tire?
Yeah.
Do you know how to change a tire?
I do. Yeah.
You don't know how to change a tire.
I do know. I know how to fill up a tire with air.
Do you know? That's not the same thing. That's not the same
I know
thing.
how to change a tire if you like.
Do you know how to change your oil?
Yes, that I do.
You do?
Know.
You do know?
Yeah.
But you don't know. Do you know how a car works?
Yeah, you put your foot on the gas and it goes vroom.
Right. That's what I mean. You don't like cars. You like the status symbol associated with cars.
I do. That's not
You
true.
don't like cars that much.
I don't like the status symbol. I like the beauty. You know.
You would never be a mechanic.
The design.
You would
I'd be more of like the person
you would
who's like,
never be
let's make this one. I like that one. Let's not make that one. I don't like.
You would
that
never
one.
be.
I'd be
you would
the
never.
chooser.
You would never be a
choose
mechanic, though. You'd never be a mechanic.
I'd never be a mechanic.
Exactly. You don't really like. You like the idea of cars. Is my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's cool. Some people are like that. You know what I mean? I'm like that about other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like I don't like the idea of like sewing clothes together, but I like fashion. You know?
Yeah.
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 Cool. Do you think we've deepened our relationship now?
I feel like we have.
I think we've gotten somewhere.
Yeah.
God, we're a far cry from.
That's good. Yeah. So
15 minutes ago we were talking about Drake's
you gotta
cock.
calm down, and I gotta start listening.
It's definitely true. Maybe I can just calm you, tell you about my problems, and then you sit there and listen, and then that'll be the whole podcast.
I feel like that could be good.
Mm.
Should we talk about our meet cute?
Our meet.
How did we meet? It was in a class.
It was in a class. Everyone like.
It was in
I
a
was
class,
I was like kind of like the popular
he was
cool
like
kid.
the pariah. Like Eric was like this person that like people were honestly like the teacher was like afraid to call on him. He'd be like,
What's the craziest thing? What's the craziest thing that I said? And I'll censor it if it's that crazy. But I don't think it was that anything. What did I really even do?
I don't know. It was just like you were a character,
Right.
and for me, that's something that like if I see someone like being a character in a way that's not like nerdy and loserish. You know,
What do you
like,
mean a character? Just be very honest with how like. What do you mean?
You just would say like outlandish things in the.
What did I say? Like, give an example, dude. I don't even remember.
I don't remember either, but like Sergio was like this very like.
Yes. Very sort of reserved Italian sort of guy.
Yeah, and like you would say some crazy stuff. You'd be like, something about like I remember you were like, one time you brought up like sex and it was crazy. You were like, I don't remember. It was so random. It was just random.
I was talking about fucking.
No, you weren't talking about fucking. I don't know, but honestly, like you're the goat. I've been saying goat a lot.
Dude, that's what you say when you don't have anything else to say. You're just like, dude, I feel like we were there that one time, and you're the goat, man. Dude, you're honestly goated, bro.
Here's a good question, piggybacking off of that horrible idea for a conversation I had 10 seconds ago.
Right.
What do you do when, like, you're talking to someone and, like, you don't know what to say anymore? You're like, how do you, like, what do you say?
Oh, God.
Because sometimes I'll just, like, zone or I'll be like, that's good.
Right. Yeah. I've started this bad habit where I think I just like stand quietly and stare at them, or I'll just be like, and I'll just like let it be uncomfortable. Like I really should be looking for something to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll just like I'll kind of like make them feel uncomfortable a little bit. It's like almost a little on purpose because I'm at the like I've just been doing stand up for so long that like discomfort has started to become like I kind of like live there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because especially if you bomb a lot, and then like not just that, but also like I find it a little funny sometimes. So sometimes when I'm just like uncomfortable and like someone just like I'm supposed to react somehow, I'll just be like,
That's a good reaction. Sometimes you need a neutral reaction.
yeah, I think people kind of need that in general in their lives. Like they need someone to look at them and just like look at what they just said. Because it makes them either go like, no, that was a dumb thing that I just said, or it makes them go,
What I'm realizing is we need more people who like genuinely speak their mind about things.
It's true. Wow, that was a really revolutionary thing to say.
I really think that like no, okay, shut up. But like I really think that like so much of like interacting as an adult, something I'm realizing is like think about it when we were in middle school and we were like gaming, right? This is good.
Right.
Harken to your YouTube video. It's like
Right.
you say whatever comes to your mind. You're like wham, 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 wham. Honest thoughts being flung left and right.
Right. They were usually very mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you grow up, it's like people are more like thoughtful about the things they say in a way that almost feels like censorship. It's like say what you mean.
I think you get better at the social politics aspect of it, and that can hurt honesty sometimes.
I feel like the thing is, if you're someone who can like say what they mean and be approachable, is like the key to like being.
Yeah,
a good person.
that's like a really big thing.
It's like hard though. It's hard to
It's
achieve.
very well because you have to strike a balance between saying what you mean and delivering it in a way that people can actually hear it.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest struggle. Is that it's like, okay, I feel angry about this, and I need to find a way to deliver that to you without it sounding like I'm an asshole, or just like sounding like I'm self-important. Like I'm trying, like it's like either I want you to. It's like I need to communicate to you that I'm just like how I feel. That's so hard because sometimes people want you to talk about your feelings until you do it sometimes. You know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, I don't like that you feel that way.
Yeah.
That's like the whole struggle, is that it's like, okay, I'm angry right now. It doesn't really make sense that I'm angry, but that's how it is. That's the whole, yeah. How did you meet it? That's what made me think.
What?
That like, it made me think about talking about my feelings, but did you mean it in some grander, like, political sense? Like, oh, we need to speak our minds.
I meant it in, like, a way, like, among, like, the communities that we hang out with and the people that we know.
Yeah. Like, today when you called me and you were like, we have a friend on the podcast? And I was like, no, that would be rude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was being honest.
That's good. I'm glad that you were, because then I realized, like, you know what? Maybe he's right.
It also, when people are honest, it forces you to, like, be honest with yourself, It spreads, like, a positive disease. Thank you for listening so actively right now. I really appreciate that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I kind of want you to be talking a little bit more, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this for the Patreon now?